She screamed that she would never share her husband, yet fate laughed loudly behind her tears. The day her marriage cracked, another man watched silently from the shadows. Promises were broken, jealousy burned, and love turned into a weapon overnight. Before dawn arrived, she had already stepped toward a destiny she feared. My people, gather close to this moonlit fire, and if stories warm your heart, softly follow and subscribe so more tales like this may find you. Amara lived in Ibadan with Kunal, her husband, tall, confident, and admired in the neighborhood, where generators hummed, daily markets buzzed, and evenings smelled of roasted corn, yet her smile hid restless eyes and a guarded voice. Kunal worked as a spare parts dealer, rising early, joking loudly, and dreaming big, promising loyalty, while avoiding hard conversations at home, saying love needs peace, not questions, whenever Amara asked about late nights. Amara was graceful, sharp-tongued when provoked, patient with customers at her tailoring shop, stitching uniforms and wedding gowns while listening to radio news, yet inside, she feared abandonment learned from her childhood home. Their marriage appeared colorful on social media, laughter, posed photos, church Sundays, and family visits, but whispers crept through compound fences as neighbors noticed Kunal receiving calls outside at night, lowering his voice nervously. Amara often told her friend Saad, "I can forgive many things, but sharing a husband will kill my spirit." Her words firm eyes, wet as rain clouds gathered over the rusted zinc roofs nearby. Saad warned gently that love changes and men hide storms behind smiles, advising patience, prayer, and careful watching, because secrets leave footprints. Yet Amara laughed it off, trusting vows spoken before elders and God. Daily life rolled on with traffic horns, school runs, shop banter, and evening soups, but tension slept between them as Kunal grew distant, touching his phone more than her hand at night. Beneath normal rhythms, Amara sensed betrayal like smoke, without fire, a warning from ancestors, perhaps as dreams turned heavy and silence answered questions she feared to ask aloud at night again. One humid evening, Kunal returned late, smelling of unfamiliar perfume, and Amara asked softly where he had been. His pause louder than any answer as ceiling fan creaked and her heart began racing. The next morning, a strange woman called, saying, "I am Yemi, and Kunal is my husband." To the line went dead, leaving Amara shaking, staring at fabric scraps, while customers waited confused. Amara confronted Kunal at dusk, her voice steady, saying, "Who is Yemi?" He laughed nervously, claiming lies, enemies, and misunderstandings, but sweat traced his temples, betraying truth he refused to name. Pain crashed through Amara as Kunal finally admitted plans for a second wife, citing tradition, pressure, and legacy, promising love would remain equal, though his eyes avoided hers completely tonight. She cried, screamed, and warned she would leave rather than share him. Neighbors gathered, hearing echoes of betrayal, while Kunal stood silent, choosing ambition over comfort as night swallowed their compound. Days later, Amara packed bags and moved to her aunt in a cure, telling herself dignity mattered more than marriage, yet loneliness pressed hard and fear of the future whispered relentlessly. Kunal did not chase her. Instead, he married Yemi quietly, sending messages saying, "Forgive me, this is destiny," which deepened Amara's wounds and fueled questions about choices she never imagined making. As weeks passed, Amara met Tunda, calm businessman offering help rides and listening ears. His kindness felt safe, yet dangerous, as her vow against polygamy echoed painfully inside her. Living in her Aunt Mornike's house, Amara faced constant questions, prayers, and judgment as relatives whispered that pride destroys homes, while she struggled to sleep, hearing Kunal laughter echo in memories she could not silence. Tund visited often, bringing groceries, calm words, and gentle smiles, saying life heals slowly, yet his presence stirred gossip and temptation, making Amara defensive, reminding herself she fled polygamy, not love. Kunal sent messages begging for peace, saying Yemi was pregnant, and family pressure trapped him, blaming culture and destiny, while refusing responsibility, which angered Amara, yet reopened emotional wounds she thought sealed. At the market, women mocked her quietly, calling her the wife who ran away, warning others that stubborn women end alone, words cutting deeper than knives as she bargained for tomatoes with trembling hands. Tund revealed he was separated from his wife, yet still legally married with children visiting weekends. Amara felt alarm bells ring, reminding herself she would never be second or third to anyone. Despite resolve, loneliness won some nights as Amara cried into pillows, questioning God, ancestors, and choices, wondering if endurance would have saved her marriage or if leaving was always inevitable. Pressure mounted when Mornike suggested reconciliation, saying no marriage survives without sacrifice, urging Amara to return and share Connell rather than face disgrace alone in a world unkind to single women. Confused, wounded, and exhausted, Amara leaned on Tund during a stormy evening, accepting comfort that blurred lines as thunder rolled outside, foreshadowing consequences she was not ready to face. That rainy night, comfort turned into closeness as Amara confessed fears, and Tund held her, saying, "I will protect you," his words soothing yet heavy with promises that carried unseen chains. Weeks later, Amara discovered she was pregnant, shock freezing her breath as joy, fear, and regret collided, knowing this child tied her forever to a man whose life she barely understood. When she told Tund, he smiled, then hesitated, admitting his first wife never left, only lived apart, and elders demanded peace. Amara's heart sank, realizing she had stepped into deeper trouble. Tund assured her she would be his priority, yet avoided clear answers about marriage ceremonies or introductions, leaving Amara restless, watching time slip like sand through clenched fingers daily. Connell heard rumors and mocked her, saying, "You ran from sharing, yet you followed the same road," his words cruel and sharp, reopening wounds and planting doubt inside her growing heart. Amara tried confronting Tund, demanding truth. He pleaded patience, saying elders decide such matters, and women must endure seasons, making her feel small, voiceless, and trapped again. Pregnancy weakened her body, while gossip strengthened around her church market and family circles as judgment followed her steps, and shame settled like dust, refusing to be wiped away. One evening, Amara learned the devastating truth: Tund already had 2 wives, and elders planned her as the third, without consent, crushing her spirit completely. My people, when the drum beats loud and the story tightens, stay with this tale by following and subscribing, so wisdom and warning may continue to reach your ears. The revelation shattered Amara as she sat alone, clutching her stomach, feeling foolish, trapped, and betrayed by her own choices, while rain beat the roof like judgment from unseen spirits. She confronted Tund, crying that she fled polygamy only to fall deeper, yet he avoided her eyes, saying life is complicated and women must bend for family peace. Amara returned to Mornike house weak, sick, and ashamed as relatives shook heads, saying, "We warned you, now see disgrace following stubbornness," while her heart cracked silently. Connell visited unexpectedly, smirking as he saw her belly, saying, "Fate has humor, you escaped," sharing only to multiply it, his laughter cutting deeper than insults. At night, Amara dreamed of drowning, calling for help, while voices argued above water, choosing customs over her life as fear wrapped tight around her chest. She considered ending everything, running far away or rejecting the child, but felt the baby kick, reminding her innocence still depended on her strength. Loneliness pressed heavily as friends avoided her calls, church members whispered, and prayers felt empty, leaving her questioning whether hope still lived anywhere near her path. Yet in the darkest hour, a memory of her late mother's voice returned, saying, "Child, truth is light, even when it burns," preparing Amara's spirit for a painful turning. Amara gathered courage and sought Tund, first wife, Funk, a quiet woman with tired eyes who welcomed her calmly, already aware of elders' plans and years of silent suffering. Funk revealed how Tund promised change, yet added wives instead, controlling stories with charm while hiding behind tradition, using women loyalty as shields for his selfish desires. Hearing truth spoken aloud freed Amara's spirit, as anger replaced shame and clarity cut through fear, realizing silence only fed cycles that destroyed women slowly. Funk advised strength, not submission, saying elders respect bold truth more than tears, urging Amara to speak openly before families and church regardless of consequences. That night, Amara prayed fiercely, not for marriage, but for dignity, courage, and protection for her unborn child, feeling peace settle like cool water after long burning days. She sent messages calling for a family meeting, inviting elders, church leaders, and both households refusing secrecy anymore despite threats and warnings from Tund family. Tund panicked, pleading privately, saying you will ruin everything, offering money, apologies, and promises, but Amara's voice, steady, replied truth already ruined enough lives. As meeting day approached, Amara stood taller than weeks before, knowing pain remained yet hope stirred because light finally faced darkness directly. The family meeting filled a church hall with elders' murmurs and restless benches as Amara stood before them, hands trembling, yet voice firm, demanding her story be heard fully. She spoke of Connell betrayal, escape, and Tund deception, explaining how fear and loneliness pushed her into another trap, while eyes followed her courage-filled confession. Funk supported her calmly, revealing years of manipulation, broken promises, and secret marriages, causing elders to exchange uneasy glances and whispered consultations. Tund tried interrupting, claiming cultural rights and provision, but Amara challenged him, asking where consent, honesty, and love lived within such traditions, silence answering loudly. Connell shocked everyone by admitting guilt and apologizing publicly, saying he lost Amara through pride, acknowledging his cruelty and freeing her from blame before all witnesses. Elders debated fiercely, weighing customs against harm as church leaders urged accountability, reminding all that tradition without compassion becomes injustice. Finally, verdict came. Tund was ordered to release Amara legally and financially, taking responsibility for the child without forcing marriage or adding her as wife. Tears flowed as Amara breathed deeply, feeling chains fall, while Tund sat defeated, realizing power built on lies collapses when truth stands tall. After the meeting, Amara walked out into evening light, feeling lighter, though scars remained as neighbors watched quietly, realizing stories they judged too quickly carried deeper truths. Tund complied reluctantly, providing support and signing documents as elders enforced consequences, warning him publicly that deception weakens lineage more than honesty ever could. Funk chose her own path later, leaving Tund house with dignity, inspiring murmurs among women who saw courage reflected in her calm departure. Connell approached Amara privately, apologizing again without expectations, saying I was wrong, and I accept the lesson fate taught me, his humility closing a painful chapter gently. Amara forgave him, not to return, but to free her heart from bitterness, understanding forgiveness is release, not reunion, as she turned toward her own future. Church members who once whispered now offered help, meals, and prayers, realizing silence enables injustice, and community must protect truth, especially for the vulnerable. As her pregnancy advanced, Amara found strength, attending classes, restarting tailoring work, and smiling more often as peace slowly stitched itself into her days. Justice did not erase pain, but restored balance, teaching all involved that choices echo loudly and truth eventually demands its rightful place.